Did you know that today you can shoot a high quality film with just a smartphone, edit it on your laptop, and share it with millions of people around the world, all without stepping into a cinema or a TV station? Hi and welcome to TechHub. My name is Victor Ake. Before we dive straight into this very conversation, let's start with a quick tech news update. We see that the Nigerian Immigration Service has updated its passport tracking system after many Nigerians complained about long delays. Now, when you check your passport status, you may see a new message: produced, ready for collection. In simple terms, this means your passport has been printed and is ready for pickup or delivery. According to NIS, many passports were already done, but applicants didn't know their status. And this update is meant to reduce confusion and constant online complaints. However, some Nigerians still raise concerns. They say they waited for months. Some officers demand extra money to speed things up, and in some cases, the system is not updated on time. NIS, of course, denied any wrongdoing, saying delays usually happen due to technical issues or incomplete application details. Now, the bottom line of this particular story is that the system is better, but Nigerians still want a passport process that is clear, honest, and fast, especially now that passport fees have increased. A new global report has ranked Nigeria 72 in the world for AI readiness and fourth in sub-Saharan Africa, behind Kenya, South Africa, and Mauritius. Egypt is ranked number 1 in Africa. Now, the ranking was done by Oxford Insights, which studied 195 countries based on AI policies, infrastructure, skills, and safety rules. The good news is that Nigeria ranks 35th globally in AI policy and 49th in AI skills development, showing progress in planning and training. The federal government has also announced plans to open Nigeria's first National AI Center of Excellence at the University of Jos to support research, training, and local AI solutions. But the challenges still remain: weak infrastructure, limited AI use in government offices, and unclear safety rules. Now, the takeaway for this particular story is that Nigeria is not fully ready yet, but it is moving in the right direction. Rather, zooming out to Africa, over 29 African countries now have national AI strategies, including Nigeria and Kenya. Kenya continues to stand out as a strong tech and startup hub. However, only Namibia currently has clear AI ethics rules in place. And this shows that while Africa is embracing AI, many countries still need stronger regulations, better infrastructure, and more skilled workers to fully benefit. And now to the global tech scene. OpenAI has introduced a new feature called ChatGPT Health. In simple terms, it helps ChatGPT give more personal health and wellness guidance using your own health data safely and privately. Users can actually secure connect wellness apps like Apple Health and MyFitnessPal, helping the system understand activity, nutrition, and health trends over time. Very important, ChatGPT Health does not replace doctors. It does not diagnose or treat illnesses. Instead, it helps users understand patterns and prepare better questions for medical professionals. OpenAI says health conversations are kept in a protected space and are not used to train AI models. Over 260 doctors from 60 different countries helped review responses for safety. Now, the feature is currently available to a small group of users, with others able to join a waitlist. If you ask me, I think this is a very good initiative. But that's what we have for you on Tech News Update. And of course, that brings us to today's topic: film and technology. How technology is changing storytelling, production, and distribution in the film industry. And to help us understand this better, I'm being joined by Christ Gabriel Umoh, a creative director and filmmaker. Christ has worked on projects with Boa Group, the Oluwabori, and music artists like Victor Adi and Eriga. He also has experience in production management and was a pioneer manager at O2 Academy here in Abuja. Christ, welcome to TechHub.
Good to see you, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. You seem like this Odogu tech man, For real.
What is giving you the impression? Is it the pot belly?
First, your belly just show, and then looking at your profile as an individual, one would expect someone with this kind of profile to have some white hair, I don't say you get black hair as well, but there's no white hair. But when did you start tech basically as a person?
Well, I think that we should start from the media.
Okay.
Media has been like way back 2014 when I attended a film school.
Okay.
Started a film school with learning scripting and directing, right? And then I think tech came in along the line in trying to make my work better, finding ways to improve the value that I bring to the people, the clients that I serve.
Okay.
And so I've had to leverage tech. And until last 2 years when I went into the tech startup ecosystem, that is when tech came into play. Yeah.
As at that time. Now, we've seen you work with, big organizations, wonderful institutions, and of course, A-list artists in this part of the country. Now, how are we able to leverage technology, in passing your message across?
So, Victor, we are living in the best of times. It's a fantastic time to be alive. Technology is changing the way we do our work, the way we bring value to the world. You can leverage tech across different industries, but specifically to media, let me use illustration with one of the projects that we worked on. We're giving a brief to tell a story of one of the coolest and most powerful monarch in this part of the country.
Yeah.
Now, this is a culture that I am not familiar with, but I need to be able to tell good story, quality story. All right. So, and quality story begins with not just having the vision of what I want to create a creative documentary,
right?
But how do I know how do I access the richness of the culture of this particular ethnic group that I want to tell their story?
Exactly.
That depends on the quality of questions that I ask, right? And so technology comes in to help even from the research process, understanding the quality of questions, the right questions to ask. How do I ask the right questions? Who are the people to ask these questions to get the answers that will help me tell a better story? You see, so even from the research process, not even to production level now.
Right.
Tech helps at every process, but even from the research process, I'm already leveraging technologies as simple as ChatGPT, at Gemini, to know what is this culture. This is a new culture.
Right.
I'm about to travel here. Who do I speak to get the right information? So when you show up in a corporate organization like the ones I've worked with, and even cultural scenarios, you know already from your bedroom who to meet and the kind of questions to ask. So in research process, technology helps.
Amazing. I went back to 29, right now when I did my first media production. I still recall how 2009 at the time. I still recall how I did my research from one note to the other, from one point to the other. And then of course ChatGPT was not it was not a thing at the time. I was very strenuous. Now bring it down to 2026. It just with a click, everything I need is just right here in front of me. And all I need to do is probably maybe just edit it and then just take off the things I don't want and use the things that I need basically as an individual. But moving on, before now, filmmakers actually relied more on the traditional cameras, using the editing tools and all of that, linear editing, as at the time. But right now, in your view, what is that one developmental initiative that has come into the tech industry, to help filmmakers?
Again, I think I'll be repeating this statement over and over again. We are living in the best times of times. It's a good time to be alive. Way back, take for instance, I've done some work within the advertising industry. Like you rightly said, I managed a brand and communication school for over a year in Abuja here.
Okay.
Before, when you want to create a commercial, you will need to hire a lot of actors, get the best equipment in. But on 2 cohorts where we have had to train brand communications experts within Nigeria here, they've had to create commercials from the comfort of their home. Quality commercials with AI. So if you ask me, one of the most amazing things that has happened in filmmaking with regards to tech, I would say it's generative AI.
Okay.
The ability to generate quality, extremely quality and quality images and videos. From the comfort of your home, you can tell stories with generated videos and pictures. I think that's one of the amazing things, because it gives leverage to young Nigerians who are trying to build a career in media, in filmmaking.
Right.
It gives them the liberty for them to, even if you don't have the capital, the access to capital to get, this equipment, you have from the comfort of your bedroom, tell stories that truly matter.
And that's quite beautiful, But let's talk about distribution and how people tend to watch some of these productions now. Again, I still remember whilst I was growing up as a young person, there's always this communal kind of watching, television back then at home. Dad, mom, siblings, of course, all of us, we have to sit down and then watch these movies together. But now, the way we watch some of this content is totally different. Just holding our phone, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Reels and Short and all of that, you've watched a full content already. Now, how has technology also helped in the distribution process of our content?
So distribution has changed. When I came into filmmaking in 2012, no, 2013, when I came into filmmaking, the place where, if you Asaba was the place in Nigeria,
right?
When you say Asaba director is coming, you feel. But now, you don't have to have middlemen taking your films in CDs and trying to market for you. You don't have to go through. From the comfort of your home, distribution has been made easy. Now, Omoni Oboli can, skip all of those marketers and all of those processes, and then directly distribute to streaming platforms. Kemi Adetiba can now distribute to Netflix, and earn money internationally. You don't need to take your CDs and start going all over the world to distribute, right? Omoni Oboli from Nigeria can distribute on YouTube platforms. So it creates a lot of opportunities. For instance, 2 months, 3 months ago, we launched a content production company where we create content specifically for streaming platforms. And we have editors working from Abuja and Ilorin, and they are creating content that from the comfort of our home, we are distributing and generating revenue for the company, of course.
Wow, amazing. Let's talk about structures, and creativity. One of the things, if I still remember my older brother saying this to me directly, at some point in my life, I always have ideas. When I have one idea, I go to him, bros, this idea, we can do this, we can do that. After 1 month or 2 weeks, I go back, I have another idea. So he told me one time, when I brought about the 1019 ideas to him, I said, one thing about creative is that you guys are always confused. And that is a myth that a lot of us have run with. Now, it took me time to be able to take away that confusion and then take one project per time, complete it before going over to another project. But to you now, on a personal level, how do you balance creativity and structure?
So Victor, I don't think that okay, so these are not opposite sides. These are not creativity, and this is the problem that young Nigerians have. You would see a creative guy. This guy is creative, very good at what he does, but then still very broke. I know a young man who is a fantastic motion graphic artist, fantastic designer, fantastic videographer, but struggling. All right, it is because they've not been able to find a way. Let me borrow your word, balance between this. Creativity is the soul of every project that you do. It is the idea. Creativity is the blood, is the soul. But you need a structure for these ideas to flow, right? So when you have an idea of what to do, if you don't have a structure that helps you execute properly, a structure to deliver on time, a discipline structure, structure like team, structure like proper partnership, structure like proper documentation, like proper delivery project timeline.
Yeah.
You don't have a base, a structure where these ideas can go from just being idea to being executed properly. And even talking about monetization, there have to be a structure that help you monetize what you do.
That's right.
So, and again, you don't have to be all-knowing, to be honest. If you're a creative person and you have issues, I mean, structure is something you can learn, but also partnership on somebody who is also very, very good with management, with operations. You understand? People should leverage things like that while you're trying to grow with your weakness, because a lot of creative young people that I've met have structure issues, have weakness on that part. Partnership works. Because that is what will ensure that you keep being creative.
That's right.
Otherwise, when hunger comes, the hunger and creativity
it go blow.
Do you understand?
But still, the challenge with partnerships sometimes is that someone is starting and the person is starting from ground zero. He doesn't have the resources to do a thing. So when partners come on board, there's this expectation that you probably have to pay these individuals, structure, have a team as well. You need to give some of the team members, certain amount of money to carry out some of these responsibilities. But this guy started from ground zero. He has nothing. All he has is his idea, the passion to make sure that this particular project sees the light of the day. In that process, when this young person is on ground zero, how does he actually put the structures together, knowing that he doesn't have the money to pay these individuals, from the camera team to the editors to the script, to just the entire team that he has. How can he or a young person basically manage this particular scenario?
Everybody brings value to the table. You've heard of the two Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak.
Right.
Wozniak built the whole Apple the first Apple product. He was building. Steve's responsibility was to sell. So everybody's responsibility is well defined on the table. This is what you're bringing in. This is the value that I am bringing in, and this is how we will monetize this value that we are bringing in. And when we monetize this value that we're bringing in, this is the part of this value that we are capturing, the money that we are making. This is the part that comes to you. This is the part that comes to me. This is the part that goes into we investing and building and growing what we're already building, right? So the problem is not the partnership. The problem is that the value that individuals bring to the project, to the business, is not defined, and there is no proper legal system that solidifies their partnership and ensures that each individual keeps to the part of their bargain. They just do a gentleman handshake and say, oh, let's partner and work, and at the end of the day,
it doesn't work.
They quarrel and then separate. So if there's a proper structure, and again structure, coming back to structure, that will guide that partnership, it works.
It works. So in other words, a value for value kind of partnership for starters actually does work in this scenario. Awesome. So let's talk about let's say some of the challenges surrounding filmmakers emerging from Nigeria and of course Africa. First, what are some of the challenges that you foresee that young filmmakers will always encounter, and what are the opportunities that also lies for young filmmakers in this era of technology?
If you had asked me this few years ago, I would say for an emerging filmmaker, one of the challenges that they have, I would have said, is access to equipment, access to tools that would help them. But right now, that like the generative AI that we talked about has made that barrier nothing. All right, nothing. Now the barriers that young people currently face, even with the generative AI to create videos and images, even with that in play, infrastructure is still an issue. Things like power, things like high internet speed. Do you understand? Those are power. But I always say, because even in an environment where you have challenges, every young person who wants to grow have to find a way to get things done without depending on the government for infrastructure. I want to believe that the government of Nigeria on every levels are doing their best to make things work. However, you want to grow. You're an emerging filmmaker, so you have to find ways to create infrastructure for yourself. So with us, we've had to find a way to leverage solar. to make sure that we have power infrastructure.
Right.
We've had to find alternatives to know that, oh, if this internet, we are having internet issues with this one, we have to switch to this one, we have to switch to this one. So there are challenges, there are barriers, but as an emerging filmmaker, you need to find an alternative way to get things done. On the opportunity side of things, we talked about distribution earlier.
Right.
Distribution is an opportunity. A young man, young woman from anywhere in Nigeria can now create content, and whether film content or whatever kind of content, and publish and distribute all over the world from the comfort of their home and earn money. Do you understand? So those are the opportunities, and the opportunities of generative AI, where you don't need to carry cameras around and run around under the sun. From the comfort of your home, you can tell stories that matter. You can create movies that matter, and you can earn from it.
A bonus question anyways, because when we talk about monetization, that is usually the end goal. I mean, anyone who creates a channel right now is looking towards monetization. And sometimes it takes time before we even get to that place of monetization. What are some of the structures or strategies right now that a young filmmaker who has a channel can actually employ to ensure that in a short period of time, maybe 1 year, that he or she has gotten himself or herself to that place of monetization? Or what are even the things as well required before you can monetize your channel?
When you say channel, are you referring to YouTube
channel right now?
Find, there is this person who was asked to say, if he always asks when he wants to give a talk and say, if you want to open a restaurant and you have the opportunity to ask God for something that he would answer at this moment, what would you ask him for? And some people will say, good location. If my restaurant is in a good location, people would come. Another person will say, I just want a good recipe. But the man always say those are the wrong things to ask. What the right thing to ask is a starving crowd. When you get a starving crowd, people will come even if your food is not sweet. Even if you are in the forest, they will find you as long as they're starving. So I see a lot of young people, trying to run YouTube channels or even trying to build any business at all. It's the same principle. Find what people want. Don't try to, I'm a filmmaker, so I'm going to do gang. Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber in the world, would say, we are not shooting 4K here. Unless we are shooting for Amazon. We are not shooting 4K. We are shooting 1080p. That's what our audience wants to consume.
Surely.
You understand? So when you're trying to create a channel or whatever media, filmmaking, understand the audience first. You are there to solve a problem, to meet people at the point of their need. So choose a niche that people want to consume content on and create content for them. And it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be too hard. And again, you talked about the fact that it takes time to monetize. Just survive. Just survive and build. Whatever has life will grow. Everything that has life would grow. So just survive and keep building.
Talking about that survivor, lots of persons, once they start creating channels, this is all they want to do. In other words, they put in their energy, the little resources they have, they put it right there. And then there's no other job on the side to keep them going and all of that. I think that survivor part is one advice that we should hold on to.
Yeah, the good thing is transitioning. Do not just quit what is giving you money to go and focus on something, unless you have a leveraging ground. You have people feeding you, you have accommodation, your basic survival needs can be met, but if you don't have that kind of leverage, what you need to do is transition, keep building and doing what is making you money to survive, and when you build to that point where you can transition, it's easier for you.
I love more, especially when you're not a nepo baby.
Exactly. You understand.
But let's talk to emerging YouTubers or film creators here in the country, both Nigeria and Africa as a whole. What is going to be that one piece of advice that you have for us?
So, I am a big proponent for personal growth, right? So I would say there is no one size fits all advice that I would give for. Well, let me put it this way. There is no one advice I would give to filmmakers. This advice is relevant to whether you're a filmmaker, whether you are building in the tech industry, whatever industry you are. I always ask people this question and say, what do you want? And how bad do you want it? When you want something and you want it badly, I heard a statement that changed my life. She said, when there is a will, there is a way. So Do you want to be an elite filmmaker? Do you want to leave a lasting impact and play in categories like Tyler Perry and be a global filmmaker? Do you have that vision? So go all out. Whatever it takes you to build, if it takes you to serve, if it takes you to be an intern, if it takes you to work, get money, go and buy equipment, whatever it takes you, figure it out. As long as you have the will, you will, the way, the idea is to get it done will just come to you. So
thank you so much, Christ, for your time today.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you very much.
It was good to be here.
Thank you. And also
Thank you.
time to be with you. But that was Christ Gabriel Umoh sharing with us his stories and, of course, some of the strategies that you need to grow, as a filmmaker in this time and era of technology. Now, before we go, let's give you the tech tip of the day. And here's your tech tip of the day. If you're a filmmaker or content creator, learn how to use basic digital tools for planning, editing, and sharing your work. You don't need expensive equipment. Just learn how to use the tools you already have very well. Once again, thank you so much for being part of our conversation today. We do appreciate you. And whatever we've learned, what we've learned today is simple. Technology is no longer optional in filmmaking. It helps us tell better stories, work faster, and reach wider audiences. And that's it on TechHub today. If you enjoyed this conversation, join us next time as we continue to explore how technology is shaping our world. My name is Victor. Okay, until next time, stay techy.